I'm Math Dad,
I'm Science Mom.
and today we're doing long division.
Ooh, it has been a long time since I've done long division.
Today's the day we review. But first, our warm-up problem solution.
I almost ran out of time, but then I realized, hey, I keep getting 4, but then having a number 1 left over. I can just multiply by 1, and I'm done.
There you go. So you did 5 plus 3 minus 4. That's 4. Then you
Yep.
times 1. You're there. Very good. I saw a few other ways of doing this. So we could do 5 minus the number 1. And there are a couple ways of getting that number 1. We could do 4 divided by 3 plus 1. Or we could have done 3 plus 1 divided by 4.
Oh.
And that's going to give us 4. Or we could have done 3 plus 1. Well, I could call that 4 divided by 5 minus 1.
Because that's the same as 4 divided by 4, and 4 divided by 4 is 1.
Yeah. A slight variation on that. What if we did 5 minus 3 divided by 4 minus 1? So that was another way of doing 5 minus 1.
1.
And I think I saw yet one other. It was, let's do 4 times, and I need to get 4 times 1. But what if we were to just do 5 minus 3 minus 1? So that's 4 times 1 is 4. My guess is there are others. Let us know in the comments if you were able to get the number 4 by using those 4 numbers. All right, Science Mom. 524 divided by 3. So when you see this division sign, that is the same as us saying 524 divided by 3. So thinking of it as a fraction. And we are going to get into fractions, but I just want to make it clear. Those two things do mean the same thing.
And that's the same as 3 going into 524 as well, right?
That's right. And we're going to set it up this way so we can do long division. So to do long division, we look at the number 3, and then we come over here and find the first digit, or digits, that 3 would go into. In this case, does 3 go into 5? Not evenly, but the number 5 definitely has at least one 3 in it. So we would need 2 3s would be 6. That would be too big. So we say 1 time. So 3 times 1 is 3. But what's left over?
2.
So, and we just subtract to get that, right? 5
Yep.
minus 3 is 2. Okay, and then I can bring down everything that's left over. So the 24. Then we say, how many times does 3 go into? In this case, 22. Because 3 doesn't go into 2, but it does go into 22. How many times, Science Mom?
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 7.
All right, 7 times. So 3 times 7 is 21. So I'm going to write that down here. All right, what is 22 minus 21? The leftovers?
1.
Just 1 left over. And then I'll just bring down a 4 here.
Why do we bring down the numbers?
Because that's what's left over. That's what we haven't accounted for. Or, so more specifically, if I had just, instead of writing the 3 there, I had written 300. And instead of writing 21, I had written 210. That's really what's going on here. Because we were doing multiplication, or division in the hundreds place, and then the tens place.
Yeah.
Yep. How many times does 3 go into 14?
4.
4
Yep, 3 times 4 is
12. Okay, and then the leftovers, the remainder portion, 14 minus 12 is
2.
2. So, looks like we've got 2 left over, and there's nothing else to bring down. So when we do 524 divided by 3, that is equal to 174 with a remainder of 2. So 2 parts left over. Or sometimes, maybe usually, we want to write that as 174 and 2/3, 2 parts out of 3. We'll get into fractions, though, in a future lesson. A bigger problem this time, 52,088 divided by 7. Okay, so we rewrite it as before, 52088. Kind of put the bar there, and 7 on the outside. Does 7 go into 5?
Nope. It's bigger than 5.
Yeah, I mean, we could put a 0 on top of the 5 if we want, but in the end, we don't start numbers with zeros typically. We would just erase it. So what about the next two digits? Does 7 go into 52?
Yes, because 7 times 7 is 49. That's pretty close to 52.
I like it. So we put the 7 above the 2 in that case. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, so 52 minus 49, we get 3 left over. Okay, and like I had said before, we could put a bunch of zeros here, but typically we don't. We just deal with the part of the number that's there.
I have to say, it makes a lot more sense to me to say what we really did was 52,000 and 49,000 goes into it. I like that.
Sure, we'll do it that way, Science Mom. Whatever
That makes more sense to
whatever
me.
makes sense in your head is the direction we can go.
Because as a kid, I used to be confused about what do you bring down and why. So
Okay, and then this is why we bring it down. Yep, because that 7 we wrote on top is not actually a 7. It's going to be a 7,000. It's in the thousands place, as we shall see.
don't forget the 0.
Oh, don't forget the 0. Thank you. Okay, so now to figure out how many times 7 goes into 3088, we really just look at the first digits. Now, 7 doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 30. So 7 goes into 30 four times.
Because 4 times 7 is 28.
Good. So we could call that 2800 because this 4 is really a 400. All right, we're going to subtract. And when we do, we're going to get 8. 30 minus 28 is 2. Okay.
So now we have 7 goes into 288 how many times?
Ooh.
Doesn't go into the 2, but it does go into 28 exactly 4 times.
Okay, so once again, we're just looking at those first two digits. Okay, so we put a 4 there. 7 times 4 is 28. Put an extra 0 there, subtract, and we're just left with 8.
Ooh.
Okay. How many times does 7 go into 8?
1 time.
1 time. And when we do that, what's left over?
1.
1 extra. So 52,088 divided by 7 is equal to 7,441. That was the number on top here. But then with a remainder of 1.
Very nice. I like it.
Okay, 47,333 divided by 12. A 2-digit number this time. Is that going to make it more complicated?
It'll be fine if we know our 12 multiplication tables.
Is that a big if?
In my case, they might be a little rusty.
Okay, well, let's do this thing. All right, so 12 doesn't go into 4, or it goes in 0 times. What about 47?
12 times 4 is 48, so we need 5. We need
3.
3.
Because 12 only goes in 3 times. 4 times would be too many. 4 12s.
There you go. I
Okay.
told you I was a little rusty on this, guys. It's okay.
Okay,
And the only way I'll get better is with practice.
absolutely. 3 times 12, 36. But this is really not 3 times 12, it's 3,000 times 12. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put some zeros in there. We'll subtract. And when we do, 3, 3, 3, 7 minus 6 is 1, 4 minus 3 is 1. Ooh, 11,333 left over.
That's a cool number.
Yes, it is. Okay. Well, 12 goes into that. How many times?
Well, it doesn't go into 11.
It doesn't go into 1, doesn't go into 11. Oh, we've got to use 3 digits this time. How many 12s are in 113?
Less than 10, because 10 times 12 is 120.
Okay.
So I think we need to go down to the 9. 9 times 12?
Okay, so 9 times 12. Do you remember 9 times 12?
No.
That's fine. It's 108.
Not when I'm being filmed. I can't remember 9 times 12 when I'm being filmed. It's too stressful.
Just fine. All right. So, of course, that was a 900, so I put 2 zeros there. We subtract now. 3 minus 0, 3. 3 minus 0, 3. Uh-oh. We need to borrow. But yeah, 13 minus 8 will be a 5, and nothing left over. Okay, how many times does 12 go into 533?
It doesn't go into 5, but it does go into 53.
How many times?
4 times, because 4 times 12 is 48.
Okay, I like it. So 4 times 12 is 48. And I'm going to put a 0 at the end because that 4 is really a 40 times 12. Okay, we subtract. We get 3. And 5 left over. Okay, once again, 12 goes into 53.
4 times.
4 times. All right. So that's 48. We subtract, and that means there are 5 left over. So our answer here, 47,333 divided by 12 is 3,000
944.
with a remainder of
5.
5 left over. Because it's not always going to work out evenly. 12 doesn't go exactly into that number. Here's a tough question for you, Science Mom. Why can't an ear be 12 inches long?
Because then it'd be a foot.
That's right. Good job. All right, Science Mom, I'm handing over the pencil.
My
It's your
turn?
time. It's your turn. Can you do 1 million divided by 11?
Okay, 1 million divided by 11. Well, the first thing I see is that 11 does not go into 1. 11 does not go into 10. So I need to do, how many times does 11 go into 100?
Ooh, how many?
Which means I'm going to put my number right up here in that spot,
Okay,
not here or here.
good. And it does make sense to line them up like that. It's just good accounting.
Yeah. 11 times 9 is 99.
I
That
like
would
it.
be the closest I can get to 100. So I'm going to write my 9 here.
Okay,
9 times 11 is 99. But really, because I'm way up here in my 10,000 spot, I could just fill in zeros here when I subtract.
nice.
I like putting the zeros in. And then we get
1 left
100
over.
Yep, 100 minus 99 is 1. And then we're doing essentially the same problem again and again. Doesn't go into 1, doesn't go into 10. It goes into 100 how many times? 9 times. So I write my 9 up here.
Ooh, be careful. So you'd have to ask yourself, you have to do this one of 2 ways. 11 goes into 10 0 times. So you need to put a 0 here. Or I liked what you had done. You were lining things up neatly. 11 goes into the 100, but then that 9 would need to be over 1 digit.
Thank you, Math Dad.
Well,
So 0 and then 9 right here.
good.
9 times 11 is 99. And then when I subtract, I get 100. And once again, I look down here. 11 does not go into 1. It does not go into 10. It goes into 109 times. But since I need to line things up, I'm putting my 9 right here and a 0 there. And remainder of 1.
Very well done. So we should definitely remark on these zeros showing up. That's one reason people like to bring down 1 digit at a time, because then it goes in 0 times, and then they would remember to write the 0 up top.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you're always lining up your digits correctly and carefully, then this way that we're doing it works just fine. But you cannot forget those zeros. If I had to name the most common mistake in these division problems, I would say it's forgetting zeros. So the final answer is, go ahead.
1 million divided by 11 is 90,909 with a remainder of 1.
Yes. Well done, Science Mom.
Thank you.
Okay, and then one last example. 9,301 divided by 8.
All right, 9,301 divided by 8. And this time, I'm going to try it just bringing down 1 digit at a time.
Okay, let's do it.
So does 8 go into 9? Yes, it does, just 1 time. So 1 times 8 is 8. And then I subtract, and I get a 1. And now I'm just going to bring down 1 digit and check and see, does that one work?
Okay.
So does 8 go into 13? Yes, it does. Again, just 1 time. 1 times 8 is 8. And 13 minus 8
It's 5.
is
Good.
5.
And
then I bring down a 0 all the way down.
all the way down.
It almost got stuck on that line, but it made it through.
Almost. All right.
And I have a 50. How many times does 8 go into 50? 6 times because 8 times 6 is 48.
Good job.
So I'm going to write a 6 up here. 6 times 8 is 48. And now I have a 2 left. And I'm going to bring down, all the way down, bring down that 1. 21 is what I have now. How many times does 8 go into 21? Just twice, because 2 times 8 is 16.
Nice.
And then I almost ran out of room, but 21 minus 16 is 5.
Good. So your final answer is?
This 9,301 divided by 8 is 1,162 with a remainder of 5.
Nicely done, Science Mom.
I can see why they call it long division.
That's right, these are very long problems. That is the name of this algorithm that we're doing here. The only way to get good at these problems is to do lots of them.
And we have a worksheet for you down in the description where you can get some more practice.
Thanks so much to our patrons who make all of our videos possible. We appreciate your support. If you'd like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/sciencemom and join us.
Work hard, grow smart, and we'll see you next time.